I wouldn't do 1-on-1.
You feel me? I'm not doing 1-on-1. What the fuck was that nigga thinking?
I wouldn't do 1-on-1.
Oh, I was about to say shit. We all New York. But what's up,
What's up, everybody? Everybody's coming in. Hey, Joan, Scott, how you doing? Scott, we definitely gonna talk about that thing tomorrow, Scott. That the Aretha Franklin Natural Woman thing. Scott had to put something up on his page addressing it, and I told him, I said, that's a slippery ass slope, man.
You know who Patrice talked about that shit on his the Black Phillip show way back.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I'll send it to you. I'm gonna find it and send it to you.
Okay.
It's probably along the same lines that I'm thinking that y'all was hitting on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. It's like that shit ruined it.
No doubt. Welcome, everybody. All right. It is a cold night, and we are here in Georgia dealing with the freezing cold. It's been cold snaps lately. It was a cold snap last night. Woke up this morning, there was frost on the floor. But anyway, welcome to another episode of CMCT. Change your mind, change your thinking. I am your host, Troy Skinner. Next to me is the man with the plan, the only man that can stand on the battlefield opposite me and bring the heat. My co-host,
Antonio Dean, what's up?
Antonio Dean eating guacamole. So hey, man, you can't get the California out of him, man. It's in him forever. He's Bay Area till he dies. So welcome to another show, guys. It is, like I said, a cold night. We came up with the topic of our show earlier today, and we're going to be going in 100% on this one. So hopefully we'll be getting more guests in. This show is recorded. Scott San Antonio with a fire symbol.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. Scott, you back home or you in LA? Where you at? Anywho, we are going to be going 100% in tonight on this. So this show will be recorded. So if you want to use it to educate some others or introduce some of our thoughts and our perspectives to other people, we definitely would appreciate that. Tuesday night is a topic night. Next Tuesday, we will be having Jackson Drumgool II on the show. We will be doing another pass to see if we can get him on the show and interview him in regards to fatherhood, marriage, and what it means to be a true community leader, because that's what this brother is.
Father, beautiful black man.
Gotcha, brother. Yeah, absolutely. He served in the military, did a whole bunch of different things, and currently he's working very strongly with the community and wrote several books and is working in alongside with the city to make a change in things, man. I believe in change, not just in the verbal change, but change in the mental and the spiritual aspects as well. And this man does that. So we will be having him in next week for sure. You'll be seeing the ad drop tomorrow, and we'll be making another pass at it going into the next month, which will be February. And at the end of February, we will be totally migrated over to YouTube. So enjoy the Facebook and Instagram as you can now. We may have some of that, but it will be on the CMCT page. If you don't know what that page is, it is CMCT_show, SHOW. on the Instagram and also YouTube. So that's how you will catch us completely live. All right. So another week, we are still holding our raffle for our safe. If you haven't gotten raffle tickets yet, you definitely want to make that happen. That's something you want to do. You can grab some raffle tickets from our Linktree page. And of course, you go to the Linktree page, and once you get there, you will see at the top where it says tip for raffle tickets. Or if you just want to tip us, it will help us greatly.
Yes, it would. And we appreciate that.
Yeah, we got to keep the lights on. And also now the water, because been, pipes and stuff going on. So shout out to Daphne McGarry Clark on her situation. How you doing, Corey? How you doing?
I'm about to send you over.
What's up, cuz? Got my family up in here. Thank you for joining in with us, guys. Hope everybody's staying warm wherever you're at. And everybody in California, I know you had that 7-day stretch of rain. So shout out to Daphne. Her spot got flooded.
Everybody show some respect. Pay some respect for real nigga season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's Aquarius season right now, so make sure you pay your tithes.
No doubt, no doubt. So for the audience that's watching, when is the date?
Of the
Your
start
birthday.
of
Your birthday.
my birthday.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't usually tell niggas that.
Well, we want to know. That's part of
I
it.
don't celebrate. My birthday is in February. You know what I'm saying? It's within the first 2 weeks, and it ain't on Valentine's Day. It's before Valentine's Day, and it's after the first week. So, you know, maybe if it lands on a show date, then I'll share, and we could, I don't know, we could celebrate on the show. I'll buy a hat or some shit.
Okay. All right. So he told us without telling us, pretty much.
Yeah, it's soon.
Okay.
So if y'all want to donate for the birthday cause, the week of Valentine's Day, that's my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm getting old. I'm almost 30.
Hey, you ain't old until you old. Till you decrepit. That's old to me.
The day I tell myself I'm old, and that ain't happened yet. Come
What's
on,
going on,
Rick? Welcome,
Jelani?
man.
Brown girl, how you doing? So hey, so check it, right, Scott? Yeah, she's still in L.A. She's dealing with, the apartment. A lot of people, man. A lot of people were displaced and stuff because of pipes bursting and stuff like that. So be careful out there, guys. And make sure you drip your pipes. If you're in a cold area, drip them at night. Make sure you have hot and cold water dripping out your faucets, so that way the pipes don't get frozen. Anyway, the safe. If you're interested in the safe, like I said, if you go to our CMCT, our Linktree page, at the top of the page, you will see it says tip here for raffle tickets. If you tip there, it'll show you the different options that you have in regards to getting raffle tickets for this safe. And we're going to go over the safe and all the specs in a second. We are raffling off a brand new $750 Stillwater safe. Please leave your contact information in the comment when you pay. Ticket options is $5 is 1 ticket, $10 is 3 tickets, $20 is 7 tickets, $50 is 20 tickets, and $100 is 50 tickets. So you can go there, and right now we have some people running in the running for the safe. If you want to be a person to be able to walk away with this brand new safe, if you're on YouTube, you can see what the safe is.
Beautiful safe.
It's a beautiful safe. Okay, it's a Stillwater safe. It's worth $750. It is the EL310. It's a 2-hour fire-resistant home and document safe.
Yes, it is.
2-hour fire resistance means that the internal temperature will reach up to 350 degrees. If the safe is in a fire for 2 hours at 1,875 degree max external temperature. So basically, you want to make sure you get to that safe after the fire is over.
Yeah, don't microwave your safe.
Yeah, no doubt. You want to make sure of that. It's easy programming. It takes 4 AA batteries external, and it will retain your code if the batteries die or are changed out. Okay,
It's a smart safe.
It's a smart safe. You could put your personables in there, paperwork, some some money.
Fit a whole mistress in there.
Well, I mean, she's a what do you call it? With people that have
Midget?
You know, a short person.
A dwarf or something.
Yeah.
Whatever you put in your safe.
Guns,
I don't
whatever
judge.
So it's a great safe. You definitely want to be a part of it. We'll be raffling this off until the end of February. You still got time to grab some tickets and support us by grabbing tickets. All right? That's something that's ongoing, and we want somebody to walk home with a brand new safe.
Yeah. We can go over them prices real quick.
Yes, sir.
I'll read it out.
Yeah. Okay.
There we are. If you want 1 ticket, it will only cost you $5. You want to get 3 tickets, $10. For 7 whole tickets, you can spend $20. And for 20 tickets, the price is only $50. If you want to go all out and ensure that you are the only nigga who gets this safe, it is $100 for 50 tickets. Blow them out the water.
There you
Win
go.
this safe. So
There
you
you
can
go.
put something in there. You can put a whole car in there.
So you get the whole safe, and plus the shipping is free.
Shipping is
Antonio
free.
has stepped up to take care of it. It will be shipped to you via FedEx or UPS. And yeah, you have a brand new safe. It's a nice safe. Okay, so tonight, part of the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic was because there's an incident that's in the news that is about to really blow up really big. It's a little different than normal. Normally, when you get somebody in the news because of cops beating on them, battering them, it's usually white cops beating on a black person, usually mostly men and or a woman every now and then, but mostly men. So tonight's topic, we are saying, does the world envy black men? Do you hate black men? Is there people out there that hate black men? I firmly believe that is true. I
By
believe,
far and large.
yeah,
Subconsciously, unconsciously.
that there is very big truth to that fact.
Animosity.
There is an animosity. There's an impunity in regards to the violence against black men and the venom and the outspokenness towards black men. And what does that mean? We're going to delve into that tonight in full detail. A lot of layers that we're going to peel back to help people understand that, because a lot of times when you get misandrous in comments and topics, they're quick to be like, well, boo-hoo, who hurt you?
It's not just black men, it's black men's masculinity as well.
Absolutely. It is a major attack against masculinity. But when it comes to black men...
black man's masculinity.
Yes, black
Ours
men...
is different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have a difference. And we're not talking about the hip-hop representation of masculinity. We're talking about the nuclear family of black man.
The love and nature of the black man.
Absolutely. Taking
The
care of his
power and
family.
strength of the black man.
Yes. Disciplined. Right? Focused. His desire is to take care of his family. Is to present himself according to his community.
Mm-hmm.
To
The
protect his
ability
community.
is unique.
His sense of knowledge, his sense of upstanding, his sense of
Spiritual
integrity,
awareness.
his spiritual awareness, absolutely, of who he is and what his community is and what he wants to contribute.
The fixture that the black man is in the world, considering the world is watching us.
Always. And
Other men are emulating
Always.
everything that black men do.
Always.
Always have.
Always. So what does that mean? What does that mean? So that means that black men are thrown into a leadership role that they're not able to eventually accomplish, right? So when you see a lot of stuff happening, with movements are happening, there's usually women in the forefront. Why is that? Where does that come from? What's the cause of that? Is it just a thing of conversation of women saying we have to step up because black men won't, or is it a thing of they're not taught that they are leaders? You see, because one of the things that I learned in the martial arts, I was fortunate, man. We talked about this the other day. My first instructor in the martial arts was Muslim, and he was very big on the family.
And this is
positions
in
New York,
80s?
Brooklyn, in the 80s.
Yeah,
so
that...
Mr. Jackson was very big on how he did things. He was very terse to the point. You know what I'm saying? He gave you those eyes. I think that's what's missing a lot with a lot of black men now. They remember them eyes like the James Evans eyes.
No words necessary.
Yeah, just the look. Just the look is just given. That's it. And he won't have to say it more than once. You know what I mean? And look at me when I'm talking to you. And you better not lie. There's an old phrase. You're going to stand there and lie to me in my face and tell me you ain't do.
And it's not fear. It's a type of respect, just for the spiritual presence. The presence overall that you provide when you're a part of someone's life as a black man and you mean it. It's irreplaceable.
So going to what you said it's not fear, but that's what I wanted to get to. People hate what they fear.
As far as our family members.
Yeah,
the rest of the world.
This is the thing. People hate what they fear.
Yeah.
And
the rest of the world definitely fears.
Of course. Of course. By what has been presented as what the world considers to be a black man in our behavior. And we're using this situation as a means to start the conversation because, from what they're saying about this footage, man, they beat this brother really, really bad. They beat him for 3 minutes. Joyfully beat him. They beat him to impugn him, to diminish who he is as a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times when people beat on people, it's to express something. It's one thing when two people are fighting to get a point across, right? Or somebody's fighting to defend against them, assault. But it's another thing when you got 5 men on top of one man, beating. And we already know about how the cops work. Because you see, these brothers are part of a gang in itself. And so here it is. They're in the good old boys club as black men in a gang of themselves. That's crazy, man. And they beat this man. And when this footage comes out, there's going to be hell to pay. There's going to be a lot of hell to pay because when the family saw the footage, they said they beat him like a piñata. Mm. And this is 5 black men on top of another black man. Would it make it? Is it any different with white cops? No. To me, it's all the same. Anytime you're beating up somebody, but to be a black man beating up another man speaks volumes to me. That means there's some form of hatred that you have towards that visage or image of that man.
For it to become something that's similar to a crime of passion, it's just not categorized as crime.
Absolutely. All right, so we're going to read this, and then we're going to start the conversation, man, on why we think that people hate black men.
Now, really quick, if I could, please turn it down.
It's too hot?
Yeah, it's hot as shit up in there.
It's control. It's always here.
Excuse my heat tolerance. It's not very high. But
and he just ate too, so
yeah,
body working. But go ahead, brother.
So this from Fox 13. What we know about the Memphis police officers fired after Tyree Nichols' arrest. Death. 5 officers involved in the arrest of Tyree Nichols, a 29-year-old man who died 3 days after the altercation, have been fired. The Memphis Police Department announced on Friday, January 20th, 2023. This was just this past Friday. Mm-hmm. Officers Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin III, Desmond Mills Jr., and Justin Smith were fired. Memphis Police Department announced on Friday. All black men.
Yep.
Kind of looks like Melvin.
That's what I said, too.
With confidence. In a statement, MPD said that the officers violated multiple department policies, including excessive use of force, duty to intervene, and duty to render aid. The Memphis Police Department is committed to protecting and defending the rights of every citizen in our city, MPD said in a statement. The egregious nature of this incident is not a reflection of the good work that our officers perform with integrity every day. Police announced the firings about 6:30 p.m. Friday, nearly 2 weeks after Nichols' arrest. Bean and Haley were hired in August 2020, Martin and Smith were hired in March 2018, and Mills was hired in March 2017, MPD said. The firings came after an employment investigation, hearing which was the end of the Memphis Police Department's internal investigation into the officers' actions. Ben Crump, the nationally renowned civil rights attorney representing Nichols' family, said the officers must also be held accountable in Tyree's death. His full statement is below. We join Tyree's family in supporting the department's decision to terminate the 5 officers who brutalized him, ultimately causing his death. This is the first step towards achieving justice for Tyree and his family. They must also be held accountable for robbing this man of his life and his son of a father. In the coming days, we will review the video footage from this violent attack, providing the family and community more clarity into what led to the loss of this young man, father, and son. We will continue to demand transparency and accountability in this case and will not stop until we achieve full justice for Tyree and his family.
What's up, Dom? How you doing, Brian? What's going on, Brandon?
Any criminal charges which may or may not come as a result of what the Memphis Police Department described as confrontations between those officers and Nichols, would be announced at a later time. Nichols was originally pulled over by Memphis police on January 7th, 2023 for reckless driving, the Memphis Police Department said. Officers said that Nichols ran, leading to the two confrontations between those officers and Nichols, and eventually his arrest, in which those Memphis police officers showed us use of force, according to the Memphis Police Department. Is that that's a meme.
That's him. Yeah, that was him.
Yeah, that's insane. If you're on YouTube, you can see the picture, you know. After those confrontations, Nichols complained of shortness of breath and was taken to a Memphis hospital, the Memphis Police Department said. Nichols died at the hospital 3 days later on January 10th, 2023. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is currently investigating the use of force by those officers. Is this his family? Mm-hmm. Okay. In a statement, the National Civil Rights Museum called Nichols' death a civil rights issue, praised Police Chief C.J. Davis for firing the 5 officers, and called for continued justice. I got something crossed my mind about that. We'll talk about it. The National Civil Rights Museum mourns another tragedy in the death of Tyree Nichols. We extend our deepest sympathy to his family fighting for justice in his killing. A killing while in police custody. A traffic stop that resulted in his death. We call for justice for Tyree Nichols. We call for continued immediacy and gathering the facts and evidence in Tyree Nichols' death. We call for criminal accountability of the police officers who ended his life. We applaud Police Chief Sarah Lynn Davis for taking immediate and appropriate action in firing the 5 officers accused in the killing. We encourage Chief Davis to determine the best approach to assess past actions and history of all individual police officers for demeanor that may contribute to future deadly excessive force. The death of Tyree Nichols is a civil rights issue, as it should be. The case is now both a criminal and civil rights investigation. Our hearts remain heavy that another black life has tragically ended. As a community, we cannot remain silent. We must seek justice for Tyree Nichols, for him, for his family, and for all who call Memphis home. Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland, Memphis Police Chief C.J. Davis, and Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy have all vowed to release body camera footage from the incident which resulted in the firing of these officers after Nichols' family and attorney Ben Crump have had a chance to privately view the video. Senator Ramesh Akbari, D. Memphis, issued a statement after the officers' firing saying that there is no excuse for police brutality against our citizens. I'm thankful Mayor Strickland and Chief Davis took decisive action, Akbari said. Right now, we should support anyone who is doing the work to make sure justice prevails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the family have seen the video, and, Dominique said, I think to an extent, but it's bigger than just that, in my opinion. Yeah. True.
So
as far as the hate to black men.
Yeah, I agree with that. So what do you think the angle is here? Because I'm seeing something.
It's so weird. It's always around certain times when we have these types of sacrifices, in a sense. These are another sacrifices that I know. I mean, if you look deep enough, you'll see that these guys are all fraternal brothers. I can guarantee you. It usually when something like this would happen, those guys would be on desk duty. They got fired.
Right, put them on paid leave and
they would normally have paid leave, and there'd be an internal investigation, to see if there's any wrongdoing. No, 2 weeks later, these cats have been fired because they're black. Absolutely,
yeah.
Because if they were white men, they would still have jobs, and it'd be pending, and they'd be getting some money. The union, it's weird that the union didn't come out and make a statement this time. Normally they make a statement.
Right.
They did not make a statement. I don't know what's going to happen yet. I just know from what they've been saying about that footage is they really didn't want the public to see it, which that's bad because we've been so desensitized about violence towards black people. You know what I mean? We've been so desensitized against violence against black people. Footage showing that.
Well, I want to come at it from another angle. I'm a study Dick Gregory, and one of the things that he always loved to drive home is look at it as their game.
I agree.
Right. black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even heard the term civil rights.
Mm-hmm.
Civil rights investigation.
Mm-hmm.
They're really driving that home in the article. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
We know the ploy behind black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
How is it that? And I haven't seen this on Facebook or I don't watch the news, but I haven't seen people really talking about it just yet.
Yeah.
But
I think it will when that footage drops. But
perhaps.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So why is it that there's all this discretion and following of reasonable practices?
Mm-hmm.
Post haste with this entire thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think that they're gonna use their faces
as the new form of police brutality.
for police brutality against black people. So it's black on black crime, black on black police brutality. Subconsciously, it's black on black police. The face of police brutality is about to be these black men.
Yeah.
Not saying that black men don't have the capacity to, commit some form of police brutality, but where is this kind of haste when
it happens?
It's white on black.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cases go on for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
These dudes are unpaid leave. Years. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. If I have to look at it a little bit differently, I love to step back and really see what it is that they're actually saying because they tell them themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. When you give it.
I've never read it. There's no way we can go and look up a George Floyd article right now, and they're probably referring to him as a crackhead and all kind of shit.
Oh yeah.
You know
PCP,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, all that stuff.
They're bringing up all of that shit. But now it's black on black. We got to go by the book. This is insane.
Yeah.
How unreasonable is this? Why would cops do this? Now they're just cops.
Right. Yeah, there's a bigger picture.
Now we trust. We they're talking about the duty that police officers are charged with, and all of these different things. They don't speak like that when it's white cops.
No, not at all. Yeah, the language is totally different.
The language is absolutely, the rhetoric is completely flipped on its head. I'm just saying, before everybody goes getting up in arms and, deciding, which side of the fence you want to sit on, bullshit is bullshit, man.
Yeah.
And that's what I see.
Yeah.
I see it as they're looking to change the narrative. They're looking to change the face of of police brutality. And this is just another form. I believe it's going to be another form of black on black crime. And I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Well, I agree 100% because there's always something behind something.
Oh, and let's be clear. I'm not saying that excuses the behavior, the outcome.
No, of course not, yeah.
I'm just saying,
listen, man.
When they put something in front of our eyes, they do it for a reason.
Yeah, cops have been, and I have friends who are police officers, so it's a tough job. I wouldn't do it. I have no desire to do it. You know what I mean? To police people, it's like it's a violent form of babysitting.
People shouldn't have to be policed.
It's a violent form of babysitting. Dominique said, division for sure. He said, for overall, then black people amongst themselves, but they definitely do it on purpose. It's very true.
Absolutely. I agree.
It's very true.
I absolutely agree.
Brandon said, weird that black on black crime is always brought up, but when an Asian man or an old white man does mass murder, that is just a flash in the pan.
Look, just this past weekend, there was an Asian dude in the Bay Area went and shot up
people.
Killed 7 people.
Yeah, there's a lot from this, and we're bringing this up. I mean, we're talking about the overall perspective of hatred towards black men, because there is, if you're under a rock, maybe you'll not understand that. or you won't recognize that. But there is a such as a thing of hatred towards black men, whether it's unconscious, whether it's racist, subconscious, or whether it's
silently complicit.
yeah, there is a thing of the envy and race and anger and hatred towards black men, even from our own culture at times. That's something that I definitely wanted to talk about. Or from women, where you have the penis envy, or you have the cultures of penis envy, the black male myth. It's not all from slavery. This is something that comes before even slavery. When you're looking at other cultures and other histories, one of the greatest written Shakespearean plays is Othello, and it's
a great play.
It it alludes to that. Iago was so envious of Othello that he went out of his way to destroy him, and he did through that envy.
His entire mindset. How could this nigga?
Yeah,
they didn't say
pretty
that.
much. Yeah, but that's what it's alluded to.
That was the mindset.
Yeah. So, when we're asking this question, and it's not it's not what I would call it's not an accusation to people. To me, it's just something that's factual.
It's a part of society.
Right.
The social. It's a social construct of sorts.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how do we as black men, because you have two co-hosts here on the show talking about this subject matter, expose it first off? How do we expose it? And then what can we do about it? Because the thing is that we're dealing with hundreds of years of propaganda. I mean, conditioning. If you look on YouTube, I did a series. Well, it wasn't a series, but it was a perspective that I did
Short
doing.
film, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But it was called "Changing the Narrative." It's on YouTube, and you can punch in my name, Choice Skinner, and "Changing the Narrative," and it was just basically of how do we as black people get Hollywood to see us differently, or how do we control and change the narrative of gaining control of our image? Because I think a lot of it has to do with the image. It's not 100% dealing with the image.
Well, the image is a part of the propaganda.
Absolutely. And so when you go to The Birth of a Nation and you talk about this, there's an old movie called Birth of a Nation by D.W. Griffith, and it was right after slavery, and then you had sharecropping, and you had all this stuff happening. And The Birth of a Nation was pretty much the birth of the Ku Klux Klan. And it was shown through this film on how they saw black people. And black men got the worst of it. I mean, pretty much it was really all about black men and how we steal white women and how we eat watermelon and, how we shiftless and lazy. And
all the, what the fuck did they used to call the cartoons?
The chitlin, the shucking and jiving.
It's a form. It was a form of the black exploitation bullshit.
Pickaninny and all that stuff. And so I did a whole, I think it's like a 3-hour review of how to change the narrative, because I'm very big on that, because at that time what was going on was it was Oscar so white, and I said, guys, y'all going about it the wrong way. You need to change the narrative, and the way to change the narrative is to take the power back. So as black men, it's up to us to change the narrative, because we have to change our imagery, and that's important. And I think we first off must hold ourselves accountable, but start holding other people accountable in the community. So we're using this as a springboard tonight to bring to attention how there, for me as a black man, to harm someone, period, I got to have a good reason, right? I got, as a 39-year martial art veteran, I got to have a good reason to put hands on somebody. First off, more than likely, is if you threaten my life, or you threaten the life of somebody I love, or if you put hands on me, more than likely I'm going to wear you out. Mm-hmm. But to have in a in a mob mentality or a gang mentality, to have the desire to put hands on somebody, especially another man of my color, nah, I don't have that in me. It's not
I
like,
agree.
yeah, you know, I don't have that in me. So what is that? What's causing that? That these brothers stepped up to work together to hurt this man like that? What is that? That's the question that I have. What do you think that is? Is it just because they're in the fraternal order of being a cop? Or do they really have hatred towards their own black brother?
I mean,
Is it
the short answer is I really think that this shit is orchestrated.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But going along with just having read the article and breaking that down, for any black man and living in this world, we kind of talked about last week how they getting into these certain places and begin to feel as though, they're at the same level as the white compatriot, sitting across from them, and really you're never ever at the exact same level. Even the outcome of this, all of these fools getting fired rather than, paid leave. I think that says it all if we're really breaking it down. And I'm my intention with this tone is not to dismiss, the tragedy therein, but I have to look at it scientifically, man, because it's been too many years of us seeing these things, all of these sad things, these tragic things, these traumatic things against black men, black people for years.
And
let's the
make
first
no
thing we
mistake,
typically do is look at it emotionally.
Yeah, let's make no mistake. Things haven't gotten better.
No, they haven't.
And it won't get better until legislation first off has to be passed. That's one thing that I've learned. When you learn to hit people in their pocket, right? A lot of these guys, they always say with cops, the qualified immunity is the issue. All right. I watch a lot of police brutality videos. And the reason why I watch violent videos to understand the psychosis of human behavior, the psychology of human behavior, the spiritual aspect of human behavior. What makes a person go from 0 to 100 and not have any cognitive thought process or any consciousness in that action, right? So you look at these 5 guys beating on the video. When it comes out, I already know it's going to be heartbreaking because there's this thing that I call bloodlust. You know what I mean? And as human beings, we're all privy to it, man. We are all privy to bloodlust. It goes back to the gladiator days, and they would be up there cheering to see blood, be spilled. And we're all capable of getting into this manic place where we want to see blood. And you got 5 dudes, man, they amped up working on this one brother who can't fight back. There's a certain level of hatred in that. There has to be, to where you can't put yourself. One of the things about that movie. What was that movie? God, with Matthew McConaughey. A Time to Kill. And it was about Samuel Jackson and Matthew McConaughey, and basically it was in rural Alabama, someplace like that, and some men raped Samuel Jackson's little girl. They raped her and dragged her and did all this thing with her, threw her on a truck or whatever. And what Matthew McConaughey realized was, he said, I have to make the jury see that child as theirs,
right? Because
the skin color, they don't see the similarity with the skin color. That child is black. They don't see that child as being a child. They see it as it's a black child. So that child is not on the same level as my child. And so once he was able to do that, they were able to convict those people, right? And so what I'm saying is for these brothers to be that far gone in the bloodlust, to where you're not thinking, okay, listen, somebody you may feel commits a crime, that doesn't mean that you're the judge and jury in that moment where you be like, oh, okay, you ran from us, we're going to make it to where you never ran. That's some slavery shit. That goes back to when they hobbled Kunta Kinte, Toby, you know what I mean? Oh, we're going to stop you from running. you will never run again.
Which is barbaric.
It's crazy. You know, it's like, don't run from the police, but then they whoop you up and then they put charges on you sometimes that you don't deserve. So now I'm supposed to stand there and just, deal with it through the legal system. Well, if I don't have the money to buy an attorney or to secure a proper legal counsel, now I'm losing out. So you're going to infringe upon my civil rights. You're going to mess up my finances. You're going to mess up my record, and I don't get to say nothing about it. So I get when brothers are running, because I used to be like, well, why are you running? Don't run. But now it's like, you can still die.
Either way.
You could die either way. So I watch a lot of these videos to help me, not so much to understand it, because I'll never understand people. I've never been a person to abuse power. Like, I don't get off on that. You know what I mean? So I don't understand what that is. Like, I couldn't be the one to hold someone while somebody's beating on somebody. I'd be like, yo, y'all just go at it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm a fair dude. So with that being said, if it's not the community that's going to make the difference, what will ever make the difference, do you think?
It has to be the community. It can't be anyone or anything else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same reason, I firmly believe, and I'm not against it. I think it should still happen, but if something like reparations was to be approved and disseminated tomorrow, where's all that money going to go?
Man? Right, back into the system. Mm-hmm.
We would waste all of it.
Yeah.
By far and large, we would waste all of it.
Mm-hmm. Majority of
because
it.
Because we're not organized enough yet.
Or astute.
We're not healed enough yet. We're not present enough yet. We're not responsible enough yet to organize and be mobile together. The mobilization of the black community is probably at the lowest point that it's ever been.
What do you think caused that? Was it the disconnect from the community? Because the things that we had as community, radio, the churches back in the day, were the ways that things were communicated. That's how we rallied.
Well, I think over time, man, it's a part of it's a direct result of the whole Willie Lynch concept. Whether or not you believe in the letters, but the game plan is clear. The effects of the game plan, that mindset, is absolutely clear, and we see it every single day in our people. Most of us don't trust each other. Yeah. Let's talk about that when it comes to black men. Real quick, my man, what is this? Oh, yeah. What's up, man? How you doing? Team True Fit said, we survive under pressure, black people. Yeah. Drop the knowledge, brother. Yeah, we survive under pressure. Welcome, Eric. What's going on? Yeah. We surviving and living.
As black men, your thoughts on how it is that we don't trust is, because I don't trust anybody, but I know I have to depend on people in order to make things work and to build and to grow. I am comfortable with black men with working towards building. What do you think that's all about? Let's talk about that a little bit, since we're talking about the hatred of black men and how that is such a thing that I don't even think people realize that that's something that truly exists because of the environments that they're in. So,
about us not trusting.
Yeah.
It's more than just even that, man. We're talking about not even decades, centuries of this type of barbaric beratement and, the terrorizing of our communities, of our family structure, of our public image, of our social status, our presence in general. People are terrified. Even, I'll use me as an example, because it happens every day. But if I go to the store, the amount of people that just get the fuck out of my way, which is nice to an extent, but when I understand the psychology behind it, it's actually sad. it's sad for them. It's sad for me. It's very unfortunate. It's unfortunate for humankind in general because it's not respect, it's fear. To an extent, it's envy. What might this person that looks like what I've seen in magazines and the villain in movies and the face of a majority of victims and cops and on Locked Up and all of this bullshit that they watch and see of us pouring champagne on white bitches in music videos and all kind of stupid shit like that. You know, every little bit of it, man, contributes to their fear and their envy concerning our existence. And it didn't just start yesterday. It's there's really nothing. There's nothing unique about today in reference or in comparison to yesterday, yesteryear, yesterdecade, yestercentury, right? It's 100%, again, a direct result of that entire Willie Lynch breakdown. And they've mastered it. It's not anything inherently plausible that you could point at black people and say, this is what you guys are doing collectively and it's your fault. Not that, at a certain extent, at a certain point, we have to accept accountability in totality, but if we're looking for the root cause, the root reason, it's all of those things.
Yeah, it's a multitude.
Centuries of breaking down. I mean, I have a whole list all the way down to the language of how they mobilized in a military fashion to deconstruct our existence, our culture, our community. There's too many examples to even. We could be here all night. You know.
Yeah, and I think what happens is that we're talking about what someone has said. Eric, the Willie Lynch letters, the theory. We were talking about how division. Like as a community, we're very divisive in how we interact. You know what I mean? A lot of that was actually in the different denominations of the churches too, because the Baptists had the strongest movement in regards to the community and dealing with moving for legislation. I mean, you had a lot of the movers and shakers of the '60s come out of the Baptist church movement, but. What I'm saying is that I think a lot of times, because we have a lot of different thinking and different thoughts, you need to read something more, that we don't see that we're not as congealed as we should be. You know what I mean? We're not, and so it's hard to address that. Because I mean, you think about it, you got the Muslim religion, and you have the NOI, and then you have the Muslims, and you have 5%ers, and you see what I'm saying? You have all those different offshoots, and then now you have the Hebrew nation, right? So you got all these, at least when you look back in the 60s, there were groups that worked together for the common cause, regardless of their differences. But go ahead.
Brother John Valence says, and I hope I didn't butcher your name, bro. He says, two different worlds, the paradise of Eden versus the cold treachery of Europe and the colder climates, different diets, agrarian cultures versus hunter-gatherers. There was leisure time in Eden, time to study the stars, envy, and probably a great deal of ignorance concerning who we are.
Yeah. I know exactly what he's talking about, man.
It's the full result of all of that.
Yeah, he's going back to Shem, man. He's going back to Shem and all that stuff that happened in the beginning. So yeah, you're dealing with that. It's something that I was told very, very long ago, man, from an old guy named Al, Old Man Al. I used to work at a bodega, And he told my god brother, and I'll never forget this, man. He looked at me, he said, young man, he said, you walk around with the promise of the future on you. And he said, let me ask you a question. He said, do you know that you're black? And I'm like, yeah, of course I know I'm black. Look at my skin. And he's like, nah. He said, what do you think causes racism? And I was like, skin color. And he said, nah, economics. He said, it's, racism just didn't start in America.
Nope.
And so it goes back to understanding it's about the haves and the have-nots. And black men have to realize that they
not
have.
just financial economics. We talking about physical, mental, spiritual,
absolutely. Going on,
social.
Yeah, Team True Fit just said it. He said, do you think jealousy plays a part in any of this? That
Envy.
would be a good question.
Absolutely.
Absolutely it does. Listen, they went to Africa, they went to Europe, to Egypt, and they cut the noses off of some of those monuments.
And that was before Egypt.
Before
Egypt, they were already defacing those monuments.
There's even
defacing the pyramids.
Yes, on top of the Egyptian museum right now, the biggest Egyptian museum. There's the Nubian dynasty. They literally chiseled it out. Mm-hmm. And one of the archaeologists that was reporting was over there, and he's like, what happened to that there? And the Egyptian guy looked at him and shook his head. He said, we don't talk about that.
Even the Sphinx had been destroyed and rebuilt, redesigned, and all kind of shit multiple times throughout history, is what the evidence shows.
Every culture that has ever existed on this planet has found a way to take another culture and integrate them into their culture. And that's exactly what the Nubians did when they ruled over Egypt. They integrated. They slept with everybody, kind of like what they did over with the
Mongolians.
Yes, the Mongolians, and also with the Sicilians. Because if you don't know anything about Italy is next to Africa, literally. You got to learn your basic geography. And they went in there, and they, Christopher Walken in True Romance, he says,
that's my dude, too.
Yeah, he has this monologue where he talks about the Sicilians, and he talks about like the Africans, and they went in and they fucked so many of you that so you're part black.
Y'all got afros and shit.
Yeah. So he goes, so your grandfather was a nigga. He pretty much breaks down it's Quentin Tarantino writing, so anytime you get...
He love to have a white boy say nigga in his movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that... But he sprinkles that truth in there in order to be able to get him to say it. And when you look at that, going off of what Team True Fit said, he's absolutely right. There is jealousy in the melanin. The melanin, there's a thing, man, where if you look at a black man walking down the street, man, he's got a certain swag to him, man. He's got a certain swag, and that's why
can't be emulated.
He can't be emulated, man, and that's why you see like certain cats in the film industry, white dudes that got a little kind of chocolate in them. They kind of move really big in the game because then they're liked by all the different cultures of women. You see what I'm saying? And they know that any type of spice. If you look this up, I think his name is Maglionia. I want to get this correct. He just found out that he's part black, and this made news. Joe Mag. If you just put Mag in, just Joe Mag, it'll come up. 1G. Just put 1G. Let's see. This just recently happened. Yes. And he just did some kind of...
He ain't got no black in him.
He just came out publicly and said...
He took a 23andMe or some stupid shit.
I'm not sure. Scroll down, the article's there. It'll pop up. Because this is the latest news. And he discovered he's part black and descended from slaves.
Now, this is the fucking issue with this, nigga. Right now, if you're watching anything political, these motherfuckers have been discussing reparations. Actually discussing reparations.
Okay. All right. Now,
All of a sudden,
you see how it's coming. Listen, there's no
Nigga.
accidents, bro.
the $5 Indians. How many fucking goofy ass white people are walking around with their awful, stringy, split ended hair? No fucking characteristics in their face and their genetics. No melanin, no red, no actual red, copper skin. I'm a Native American.
Mm-hmm.
That's me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Feathers. You feel me? My father.
Chippewa?
Yeah, my father was Native American.
Mm-hmm. From the
You
Chippewa
know,
tribe.
sure they grew up. You know, a lot of them ended up growing up on these fucking reservations. But I keep mentioning this, and maybe this isn't the show for it.
Mm.
Look up the 5 civilized tribes. You need to understand all of what happened with that. They fucking massacred hundreds of thousands of different Indian tribes here in North America, Canada, and some of South America. Eviscerated them.
Yeah, extinct. Mm-hmm.
And then these bitch ass niggas could pay $5 literally to become a part of
That tribe.
these different tribes. The last 5. The five who said, okay, we heal. We'll do what you say.
Do you think, as like black men,
Really quick, my bad.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
All of that to say, that's why there's white people getting Indian, basically Native American reparations
for now.
today.
But when those other
But now-
reparations are coming, that's kind of what this is a sign
All of this mixed race shit that they've been doing, the Mix This Show,
Yeah.
Blackish, all of that kind. They've been the interracial dating. They've been promoting this shit for fucking decades now, and I'm not saying that this means the reparations are gonna happen tomorrow or any of that
I
shit.
think it's coming.
But I believe this is
A
bit
sign of it, yeah.
No, not even that. This is a bit of a feeler. Mm-hmm. How are black people gonna feel when we do something like this?
Yeah.
Tell them that this obviously Caucasian man, clearly fucking Caucasian. We're gonna tell them he's black. This nigga ain't got no black fucking features. And there's something special about black people spiritually, and I say this all the time.
Uh-huh.
We know our people.
Yeah. Yeah.
We even albino motherfuckers. And even the albinos where their skin isn't translucent and it looks like regular white skin. When you see them, you know it's them.
Yeah, you know they black. Mhm.
That's my nigga right
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We know when there's black in, when it's a mixed race person, we know when they got black in them. This motherfucker.
Well, let's listen. He feels he's a part black man. We're talking about it. Let's get into it. Let's see what makes him believe that. Because it's funny because you got Louis Gates as part of the person of the show talking about it.
All right, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
Let me sip this real quick. Shout out Chris. You know
Joe
what I'm saying?
Manga Niello. Manga Niello. I never could pronounce that dude's last name.
Joe Manga on discovering he's part black and descended from slaves. True Blood and Magic Mike Star opens up about his groundbreaking Finding Your Roots episode. Please see exclusive clips of the big reveal. Shocking family revelations are part and parcel of Finding Your Roots, the PBS genealogy show hosted by Harvard academic Henry Louis Gates. Henry Louis. Is it Louis?
Louis Gates.
Yeah, I thought so. Henry Louis Gates. Using a mixture of historical research and DNA analysis, the docuseries has taught us that comedian Larry David not only descended from a slave-owning ancestor who fought for the Confederacy, but is also related to the politician he so gamely portrayed on SNL, Bernie Sanders. Questlove's ancestors came to the U.S. as slaves on the Clotilda, the last known American slave ship, which operated a half-century after the slave trade had supposedly been banned, while Bill Mayer is cousins with Bill O'Reilly. Where was it? Oh, I just wanted to point out that this whole ancestral DNA analysis bullshit has already been debunked scientifically multiple times. There are multiple sources out there that you can go and get on Google and find out that it is impossible for them to look back anywhere beyond your mother and your grandmother. Okay? But hey, Go do 23andMe. Spend $100 on the test. And, you know, all of that silly shit, and find out that you white and Asian, and you know you got a little Irish in you. That's why
Mongoloid.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You can go find out all of that stupid shit. Pretend if you want to. Go waste your money. Anyway. The first 2 installments of Finding Your Roots, 9th season, divulged that Edward Norton is a direct descendant of Pocahontas. Nigga.
Yeah.
Come on, dog.
This has been going on for a minute.
Come on, dog. Where did they get Pocahontas' fucking DNA? Get the fuck out of here. I don't even know who half these white people. I can tell they're white people because of their names.
But
and
they just
run
actors. They're all actors.
Yeah, nigga, they just running down the list.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all. I wish fucking Paul Mooney was alive. He would tear this shit up. You know what I'm saying? 9th season divulged that Edward Norton is a direct descendant of Pocahontas. Julia Roberts' real last name isn't Roberts, but Mitchell. And Claire Danes' ancestor was branded a witch and hung during the Salem witch trials. But the most eye-opening chapter is set to air on February 9th and features the actor Joe whatever of True Blood and Magic Mike fame. If I have a short list of all-time greatest hits, Joe Mongan paternal ancestry is on that list, Gates tells Rolling Stone. During his episode, Joe M. 46 discovered that his great-grandmother, Tervis Rose Darakjian, who escaped the Armenian genocide after her husband and 7 of her 8 children were murdered in front of her by Turks, ended up in a refugee camp where she was impregnated by Karl Wilhelm Beutinger, a German officer. Beutinger then reported to his wife and 3 sons in Germany, one of whom became a Nazi SS officer. That's pretty convenient, don't you think? Because these are actually pretty prestigious positions.
Yeah.
Pretty specific. Anyway, even more surprising, however, was his father's side. Joe's DNA did not match anyone with the Manganiello name, and the man he thought was his grandfather, Emilio Mangan whatever, was in fact not his grandfather. When Joe's father submitted the DNA testing, Gates determined that Joe's biological great-grandparents were William Henry Cutler, who was black, and Nellie Alton, who was white. They narrowed Joe's grandfather down to one of 3 Cutler sons, all of whom were light-skinned African-American men. Joe's DNA revealed he's 7% sub-Saharan African. Gates and co. also learned that Joe's 5th great-grandfather was a man named Plato Turner. Records indicate Turner was born in Africa, brought to America in bondage as a child slave. Where they get... They got all of that, but they don't know where none of the slave ships went. Nobody, you know, I don't know what people are gonna be thinking about this when it hits TV and all of that bull, because they're gonna make this big. They're gonna do it. This is just a precursor. Where the fuck did they get all of that? Where is it? They just dug up the slave ship in like, what was that, like 2016 or some shit, Clotilda? They found it sitting at a shore, just sitting at a random shore in like South Carolina or whatever the fuck it was. Come on, man. I hope y'all, you know, when you hear these things, I hope you're really paying attention to it and listening to what the fuck they're saying, because it's all bullshit. Most of this is fucking made up. Anyway, this nigga got light-skinned dads or something like that. Gates and Co. also learned that Joe's 5th great-grandfather was a man named Plato Turner. Records indicate Turner was born in Africa, brought to America in bondage as a child slave, became a free man, and was one of 5,000 black men who fought for the Continental Army in the Revolutionary War. There is a monument dedicated to him in Plymouth, Massachusetts. How prestigious.
Very prestigious.
How prestigious this white man.
It's in his blood. That's how he became an amazing, powerful actor.
Yeah, he just so happens to be related to these powerful ass niggas. This is fucking insane. What they got next? According to Gates, the series has an ethics protocol when they encounter a non-paternity event, like Manganiello's. Gates will call the guests, inform them of their findings, ask if they and their family are okay airing these family secrets. Family secrets. Boy, who these niggas are related to. This is crazy. We give them the option of getting out of the series if they want. Then nobody will know except me and a couple of producers, and there are a couple of people that have withdrawn over the years, Gates says. Why does this matter? They're trying to aggrandize it to try to add some validity to the bullshit. Just so you know. I don't know if you're catching that, but they're trying to add some validity to this foolishness, man. Where was I? Right there? By Manganiello's estimation, it took around 10 months for Finding Your Roots to nail down his ancestry, though some of that may have owed to pandemic-related interruptions. Gates and Manganiello are hosting a special screening of this episode in Los Angeles on January 15th at Finding Your Roots First. There is no such thing as racial purity, offers Gates. If you go far back, everyone was sleeping with everybody else. Rolling Stone spoke with Manganiello about the revelations of his groundbreaking Finding Your Roots episode and how he's taken the news. This is going to get good. I had known since I was a kid about the Armenian genocide survivor story and that there was this German soldier who was my great-grandfather. For the past 10 years, I've been trying to get on a genealogy show to find out who that German was. He's rich.
Of course.
For the last 10 years, he couldn't pay any genealogy scientist of any sort. He couldn't just go pay for the test, 23andMe like everybody else.
Yeah, but it skipped over the fact that he was an SS officer.
Nigga,
you're not gonna.
Well, that's because he had light-skinned fathers or whatever the fuck they said, light-skinned relatives, and all of this other shit. Nigga, but he waited 10 years to get on a TV show because he couldn't afford a 23andMe or DNA or whatever, you know, all of that bullshit they got. For the past 10 years, I've been trying to get on a genealogy show to find out who that German was. I always got no. And about 2 years ago, we got a yes from Finding Your Roots because they felt that technology had gotten to the place where they might be able to make some headway. Now, I then got a phone call that they needed to speak to me and that for only the second time in the show's history, they needed to give a subject the option of opting out on the episode.
But why?
Because they want to aggrandize it, nigga.
Right, you see?
They're romanticizing it. They want you to think, yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying?
We don't know if you want people to know about
We got a cold process up in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
We gonna find something. We found something crazy. So if y'all want something to believe in, call us. We got it. This is fucking crazy. So he's the second nigga in 9 seasons, and we can effectively call him a nigga now. You know what I'm saying? It's light-skinned men in his family. Before he was born, there was light-skinned men in his family. So it's in his blood now. What was it? I then got a phone call that they needed to speak to me and that for only the second time in the show's history, they needed to give a subject the option of opting out on the episode. That happened. We went through with the episode, and once we filmed the episode, I had a lot of questions still. They directed me to a German historian in Europe, and I personally hired him to run down a bunch of questions that I had. Let's start with your maternal side and the story of your great-grandmother, Tervis Rose, blah, 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 surviving Armenian genocide. Could you walk me through her ordeal? It's astonishing that she even survived. The odds of you being here, no, where's the question where they ask about the niggas? Because I know they going to do it. Then you discover your great-grandfather's name was Karl Wilhelm Buettinger. This is the Nazi nigga. Then what else? Where's the question about black people? Let's move to your father's side. This isn't an episode, but Gates told me your father would get very dark in the summertime, and people would make jokes about it, and that your grandfather was cold to your father. How did Finding Your Roots fill in those gaps? People went to their grave with family secrets that maybe they gave him the option because maybe he didn't want people to know that he had nigga in him. They don't know if he wanted people to know that he had nigga in him. That's why he had the option. Are you sure you know the one drop rule? Are you sure you want to put this on TV? They might not look at you the same no more.
Oh no, they're gonna look at.
Maybe that's what it was.
But that's my whole.
No, this is them testing to see.
Yeah, that's why we're
how's
doing
the world
this.
gonna take?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's a nigga.
Yeah.
NAACP.
Yeah.
Let him. He gonna get an award.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're now officially a black man without the black man struggle.
Give him an HBCU. Build the most modern HBCU and put his statue there. White man, however you say his last name. Give him a statue, his own HBCU, limitless budget like the fucking military, and let them build up an HBCU. I mean, most of the HBCUs were actually owned by white men anyway, but, that's a whole nother thing. Great. Are we done reading this? Or?
No, because it gets very interesting.
Oh, it gets more interesting. All right, let me catch back up. Where am I at? People went to their grave with family secrets that finding your roots was able to basically exhume. It was a real shock to find out that your last name isn't really your last name and that I was related to 0% of the world's Manganiellos is wow. I can't imagine what it must be like for my father to find out at age 72 and anything I feel seems borderline inconsequential. I've never understood what ground zero was for me or who I am. His whole life. He was confused on whether or not, he was accepted in this world, who he was, and you know what I'm saying? That makes sense.
But look at what he says.
As a white man. If you put me in a lineup of Italian people, I don't really fit in. This sounds like some Rachel Dolezal bullshit. Is that how you say her last name? This sounds like some Rachel Dolezal bullshit. Next thing we know, this nigga about to have locks. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be a fucking Rastafarian or something. Anyway, I want to run that back. I can't imagine what it must be like for my father to find that out at age 72, and anything I feel seems borderline inconsequential. I've never understood what ground zero was for me or who I am. If you put me in a lineup of Italian people, I don't really fit in. You can tell that I'm mixed with something else. When I saw the picture of the German officer who's my great-grandfather, I look more like him than anyone else in my family. Germans are white. Mm-hmm. My father would get super dark in the summertime. People would always ask me, does your father look like Tom Selleck? And I'd say, no, honestly. In the summertime, my father looks more like O.J. Simpson. This is crazy, blood. Well, I got to see this nigga's dad, because I can't do this bullshit.
Or even the late Franco Harris.
This is crazy.
Now that we know, much of my father's identity was rooted in the fact that he was full-blooded Italian, or FBI as they call it, and there's a strong sense of that identity growing up in the ethnic neighborhoods of Boston.
When the fuck did O.J. Simpson look like an Italian man? Rick Fox looks more Italian than fucking O.J. Simpson, nigga. At least he got curly hair.
It's interesting,
this
isn't it?
This is fucking insane. I can't. This is the bullshit. This is why I don't watch TV. This is why typically, I'm not friends with any white person that can't admit that bullshit like this exists. Mm-hmm. If you can't admit that there's race relation bullshit,
then we got a problem.
I can't even communicate with you as a white person. Mm-hmm. On the job, I've walked off of jobs. I don't give a fuck. All of that, because it's this serious. This is where we're getting into the envy. Mm-hmm. Great title for this episode. Mm-hmm. They're this envious. Mm-hmm. What does his dad look like? What's that nigga's name? I'll Google his dad. I just want to know what his father looks like. Charles Manganiello. Where's O.J. Simpson? Nigga. If you on YouTube, I damn near want to turn the cameras around just so everybody on Instagram can see. Quit hating, nigga. Open image in new tab. Can we get a... Yeah. O.J. Simpson, everybody. Nigga, listen. If you're watching, he never knew what he was. He looked in the mirror and he couldn't tell. This is insane. Anyway, let's not stifle the show.
It's obvious his dad. It's obvious his dad. I mean, they look alike.
Nigga, they look like white men. Yeah. And one of them looks like they have some money. Yeah. That's it.
You got the bald man, white man, rich.
And they don't really look Italian.
Right. Right. Yeah.
If I'm being honest, they don't really look Italian. But I guess they're German, Italian, and nigga.
And Armenian, he said.
Oh, yeah, all of that. Mm-hmm. Armenians want to be black too. Mm-hmm. They're really good at that. They got fried chicken spots, all kind of shit. Anyway,
That's wild, ain't it?
The Envy they're in, they're so serious about playing this fucking game, and this nigga he's not fucking black. Get the fuck. What's the white bitch's name?
Rachel Dozier.
Nuh-uh, the other before that, who she made braids.
Bo Derek?
Come on. Is that not what's going on here? Is that not what's going on here?
Hey, man.
This is fucking insane.
The women love him.
This is crazy.
The women love him.
I can't do this shit. This is the cost of being black.
But like I said, you're black without all the struggles.
You gotta understand, I'm sure there's some people watching like these niggas are being a little racist or whatever. But who is it that's chasing after your you gotta click the link again.
Yeah.
It's right at the top. Oh, next page. That's chasing after your fucking identity. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Everybody's gonna copy off of you. Mm-hmm.
And benefit off of you.
That dude, what's his name?
Henry Gates.
Henry Louis Gates?
Yeah, Henry Louis
okay.
Gates, yeah.
So, he has a press conference talking about when all of this shit first started up and Oprah went and did the test and found out she was like a Ghanaian princess or some stupid shit like that. And he fucking admitted, and I'm going to find the video. We can't air it on here, but it's Dan Calloway did the research. He has an entire fucking press conference talking about how all of them were literally making it up. Mm. The dude it was that he went to, the guy who started the whole genealogy tracing the shit back to Africa, he was intrigued by it. They were all in college, and he's like, you know what, I want to know. So let me contact him. He said, so what do I got to do? He's like, nigga, you say whatever you want. Mm-hmm. He admitted that at his press conference. Mm-hmm. Whoever, I forget the dude's name that was above him, who started the genealogy shit back to Africa. But he just said, nigga, you want to be from Ghana? Say you're from Ghana, whatever. Mm-hmm. Oprah picked. You can pick. I picked. Mm-hmm. That's insane. They've been making this shit up forever because it's impossible scientifically. Mm-hmm. They can't connect you to Pocahontas, nigga. They can't tell you that you're related to King Tut. Mm-hmm. They made the shit up. All y'all niggas out there getting these the 23andMe shit is good for finding your current relatives. Mm-hmm. And that's about it. Mm-hmm. So if you got lost kids or something, if you was real social, or nigga, you got brothers and sisters that you don't know, you better hope that they took a 23andMe too. And that's about the only benefit that you'll get out of it. But they cannot fucking tell you what tribe you came from in Africa. They can't tell you if you're Native American. They can't tell you any of this shit. Mm-hmm. It's a flawed science. And they've already admitted that the shit's not real. I know I'm sounding like a conspiracy theorist or some shit, but all you gotta do is go Google it. All you gotta do is go Google it. Listen, man. God damn. May I?
He talks about his hair.
Yeah. Let me do it. What was your wife Sophia's reaction to all these revelations? I mean, she was shocked, but it all makes sense. Since I was a kid, when I woke up, my hair would go straight up and out. To be able to tame my hair has been a lifelong task every morning. There are things that make sense now. Much like glasses I'm wearing, it feels like I've spent my whole life looking at myself in a mirror completely out of focus. And the show is like handing me a pair of glasses at age 45. All of a sudden, I can see myself clearly for the first time.
We go through so much as black men.
This is fucking
on a
insane.
day-to-day process. And to hear someone, I respect any actor that is doing what they got to do out there to to build their career and stuff like that. But
Building your brand as a
man.
identity is going to be a brand now. Excuse me, race will be a brand.
Yeah, and to hear someone speak like that,
it's disrespectful.
it is highly, man.
This nigga ain't never gonna get turned down.
Right.
For anything that he needs.
Right.
His kids will never get turned down for anything that they need. Rich black kids still get shit on. At a certain level.
Yeah.
They still get looked down upon.
You're always reminded at a certain level that you're black, no matter what.
Nigga, I worked at the FBI. I'm finishing all my work first. Sitting there on YouTube just like everybody else. They mark it down on my security clearance. This nigga was watching YouTube. I got 2 monitors at my desk. Everybody else got 4 and 6 set up. 2 screens, nigga. On YouTube, on Netflix, all of this shit. I'm helping other niggas with their work. Nah, we gotta put this on your clearance. We gotta let them know, nigga, you were watching YouTube? As an IT professional, you were watching YouTube? They do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me started, man. This is insane. If you're black and you don't think that this is fucking outrageous, there's something wrong with you. Excuse me. There's something wrong with your knowledge. You're ignorant to your fucking history. You're ignorant to your identity. You're ignorant to your plight, to your people's plight.
Yeah.
This is disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. And I'm gonna have a long talk, off the camera, man. The niggas in my circle, we gotta discuss this, because this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought tonight would be a perfect
audacity.
time for that. Yeah.
We got to continue this show, because we barely got fucking 40 minutes left. We should just, Thursday, if you don't mind, because we haven't even really got to really dig into. We still got to talk about the penis envy and all of these different things, man. Is that the end of the article?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, I mean, he said other things at the top of it, but I wanted to go through it because, especially this one, when he says, "Have you done a 23andMe before, or was the revelation that you were 7% sub-Saharan African a new discovery?" He said, "I did a 23andMe prior, and the trick of the 23andMe was that I came up 20% Irish. I gave it to my mother, and her test came up 0% Irish. So I figured it had to be from my father. And as far as the African goes, I'm Sicilian. So I chalked that up to whatever African I had to being Sicilian. Sub-Saharan African means that basically you're descended from slavery."
That's not what it means. I'm about to tell you what it means.
As it pertains to the United States, and I didn't know what it meant until I was on the show. He told me that 7% Sub-Saharan African is more than just about anyone who checks the box Caucasian on their SATs.
So the Saharan Desert, the eye of the Sahara, that is what is considered to be. And you gotta go and do your own fucking research. I can't do everything for you, but I can tell you, all of the old, not all of, but a large mass of old philosophers who were doing world maps in the 16, 15, 1200s, and even before then, right? They had the eye of the Sahara marked as Atlantis. Okay? If you know anything about Atlantis, Atlantis was in the eye of the Sahara and where Mount Shasta is. There's a whole you got to go and do your own, but I'm giving you the knowledge to go and look up. But those were the 2 largest to this date that we know of. Largest, most technologically advanced civilizations in the world. White people. It was white people in Africa.
In their thought
in the fucking Sahara. I mean, even it was mostly water in the Saharan desert and all, whatever. It was a whole different landscape at the time. But they're further looking to rewrite, relabel, and put their fucking face on these things.
Yeah. They've been doing it since
Forever.
since the beginning of time.
Revisionist history.
Yeah.
We had a
talked
show
about that. Yeah,
This 2 hours, man. I swear to God, it's not enough.
yeah.
It really isn't. Because I know I bring up a bunch of shit and we never really get to get into it. But god damn, man.
Yeah.
If this does not infuriate you, unsettle you in some way or another, come on. Okay. We got to do this, huh? Yeah, we gonna have to finish the show on Thursday because I can't not go through this and let y'all know this is fucking crazy.
But even the fact that he said his dad looks like O.J. Simpson.
That was insane.
Right?
That's how you that 100% tells you that they're driving some sort of fucking narrative.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you it has something to do with the whole reparations thing.
I agree with you 100%.
They want to see how lenient black people are going to be about this shit. Are black people subdued enough for us to start calling ourselves black? And then let's go ahead and pass the reparations shit.
Sure.
And then, everybody get a little bit.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody can shooby-dooby a little bit now.
You did a
know
test?
what I'm saying?
Oh, you did a test? Oh, you had slavery in your
It's
family?
the exact same bullshit as the $5 Indians. Exact same fucking thing. And if you don't know your goddamn history, oh man, you need to go read. You have to go read. Please go educate yourself. Start with the 5 civilized tribes. This article is insane. The exact same thing without the contracts.
Yeah.
Exact same thing without the contracts and without the physical genocide. Anyway, let's continue this article. We learn in the episode that your 5th great-grandfather was a man named Plato Turner who was born in Africa and brought to the U.S. in bondage as a child slave and then became a free man, was one of 5,000 black men who fought in the Continental Army during the Revolutionary War, and there's a monument to him in Plymouth. We also learn that your great-grandparents were William Henry Cutler and Nellie Alton, an interracial couple who wed in 1887 in Rhode Island, which was quite ahead of their time. Didn't I just mention this interracial bullshit earlier? They've been fucking doing this. I'm descended from survivors. To raise a child in a camp that's blonde when no one Armenian is blonde without a father, and to come to the United States and raise that child under the scrutiny of other adults around, that's tough. To come from West Africa in chains on a ship and to come to the United States and earn your freedom, and also to not join the British Army because there was a lot of pro-British propaganda at the time. It's so rare to think that you'd have freed slaves fighting for the colonies. And the other side of it is this. Plato is not his real name, clearly. That was a name that was given to him. He's gonna do this?
He's doing it.
This is fucking crazy. Please. That was a name that was given to him. I can't wait to read this shit to my mom. We come from Black Panthers. It's going to be a crazy night. You know what I'm saying? That was a name that was given to him. And unfortunately, names like that were given to slaves in jest. It was done derogatorily, giving them names of Greek philosophers. So to have that happen and then fight for the revolution in non-segregated units, and they were segregated.
Right. What?
They were fucking segregated. These niggas were spat on.
Yeah.
They were practically fed dog shit.
They wouldn't have them nowhere near white men except for them to be led by one white man who those other white men didn't want to be around that white man.
They couldn't even sleep in the same fucking quarters. Where was I at?
So to have that happen and then fight for the revolution in non-segregated units.
Yeah, there we are. Wait, God damn it. Plato's name, blah, blah, blah. Oh, so to have that happen and then fight for the revolution in non-segregated units, and then the next time a war was fought, completed unsegregated was Korea. You fight for the freedom and the promise that all men are created equal, and then 100 years later, there's the Civil War. To think of how backwards this whole thing went.
What? That doesn't even make sense.
No, it didn't. Listen, man.
And this made big news. This for like this whole week. It's
Is
been
insane.
popping up on people's timelines.
Is there more of
no,
him
that's it.
discussing
That's it.
what it's like to be black now?
No, he never mentions it. He never mentions it. He never really accepts that if that's the truth, because it's not the truth, right? So he never even mentions anything about that.
Because it's a fucking game.
And like I said, even with throwing in the SS thing, it's skipped over. No, I'm saying he mentions it.
Oh yeah, but they didn't like go into.
No, you got a whole paragraph talking about what it is to have a so-called great-grandparent who is a
Nazi and
slave.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
but the Nazi one, no, that's over. That's over. You know?
Oh, get the fuck.
And the
out of here.
younger son was a Nazi soldier. But through my talks with the family, it turns out that the younger son was sent to a gulag, tortured for years, and returned speaking only Russian and doesn't recognize his children. it's like, yeah, nah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Zero accountability.
Yeah, nah, we ain't gonna talk about that.
If any of this were true,
Yeah.
since this is the narrative.
Yeah, give me love because I just found out that I'm part black, and my people came from slavery.
My people were on the right side of history.
Right.
That's what he said.
That's my point.
That's a quote.
That's
in the article.
my point.
My people were on the right side of history.
That's my point. You see?
This is insane, nigga.
Yeah. You know.
All of this to say, man. What is it? And I know what it is. I have so many different answers. But what is it? Why must they?
Mm-hmm.
At every fucking corner, every turn. Why must they do this?
Mm-hmm.
They've done this plenty of times. They're going to tear down everything that is us. And now they want to say, yeah, we're you too.
Mm-hmm.
We are you too.
Mm-hmm.
We're all human. What are you guys talking about?
Right.
This never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Are they not even teaching slavery in school right now?
Yeah, I know DeSantis just...
They're getting rid of the
yeah.
critical race theory, all of that
yeah,
bullshit.
DeSantis just removed it in Florida, where it's needed more than anything. Young black people in Florida need to know more about their history.
Now imagine sitting
any
in
place.
class across from a white person, another white child. My ancestors too. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors too. I can imagine having a fucking pretentious teacher, because I had many pretentious teachers who were self-righteous about their discriminatory practices and their racist attitudes. So now I can only see that being coupled with, well, I did 23andMe. 27% African. What are you talking about? I can't be racist towards you.
Yeah. Do you think that's what
Our
it was
ancestors
created
are
for?
the same.
Yeah, it was created for that.
Well, I had a whole nother, I mean, I'm sure it's a part of it. I have a whole nother theory that goes along with this whole collecting everybody's DNA bullshit. But I gotta be honest, I didn't expect this. I did not foresee this. I will give it to him. This is a good one. It's hard to impress me, and you know that.
Yeah.
This is pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
This is impressive to me because I know how many people are watching this in pop culture news and all of that shit. He's
black?
nigga.
He's black? I didn't know that.
I need to go take 23.
I always knew he had something in him. I just
Yeah.
couldn't put my finger on it.
Yeah, his hair was a little fuzzy. You know what I'm
It
saying?
stood up.
Pickaninny.
Like he said, it stood up.
Dirty nigga. I always knew. I can't. What the fuck is going on, man?
It's why it has to be addressed.
Nigga, they always fucking take it to the next level. Y'all gotta excuse. I'm genuinely infuriated right now. This is fucking bananas. And I know that this is just the start. It's the same way they introduced it with Oprah and all of them way back. Oh, you niggas are from Africa. Now that we've confirmed that that's where we're from, now they can confirm that them too.
Yeah. Well,
It affects all of us.
One of the things about that show,
which I've never seen it. Now I got to check it out. Well, I'm gonna steal it, but you know what I'm saying?
they always show that people have some sense of righteousness in their family. Great things happen in their family.
The white savior complex.
Yeah. Well, that's what's in that.
That's 100%. That the white savior trope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any black tragedy movie, there's a white savior. Let me help you niggas out.
Yeah, this is wrong.
I can't believe they're doing this to you niggas.
That's why I get a little upset about the whole ally bullshit. You know, it's not about allies, guys. It's about doing what's right. It's
the
about
one thing I forget who I was just listening to. The one thing black people have not tried is all of us together. No separate sects. No separate. I go to this church. You go to that church. None of that bullshit. No, I'm from here and you're from there, or this is our region. This is y'all's region. No sex associated. Nothing. Just black people deciding to actually work together.
Right. For
collectively.
a cause. Yeah.
That's
for the
it.
Causes. Yeah.
That's the one thing we have not fucking tried. The one thing we haven't tried. Everybody, everything aside, fuck all of this. Revolution first.
Right. Well, Fred Hampton was very big on that. And that's kind of, yeah.
Shit, what happened to that nigga?
Right. Yes, that's the point of that. It's important that you guys recognize that will things ever get better? Thought.
At this rate?
Yeah.
Because they're working hard with this one. I guess this was impressive. This is a very curious case right here.
I think he was picked specifically for this.
Of course he was picked. His dad was like OJ. Or looked like OJ.
It went in the summer. In the summer, when he gets dark, he looks like OJ.
Or what was the other one?
I mean, to even say that in itself, you would want people.
How blasphemous was that? Nigga?
Yeah, and to even.
You gonna claim some stupid shit like niggas don't know what the fuck OJ looks like?
Right, but even to use OJ. To even use the, I mean, he's
like
he's
like
known as a notorious He's a murderer.
Yeah.
You know?
He's one of the scariest niggas that ever lived. White people are terrified of OJ, and they're terrified of niggas who believe he's innocent.
Right.
or who claim he's innocent.
Right.
You know?
Right.
We could say Faney's innocent, but whatever. You
right.
know what I
Right.
mean? I'm glad we'll talk about it. But we can't be the only people who see the agenda, man.
What are you guys thinking out there? What's going on?
You know, niggas, there are people watching, but they just been listening to us, talk this good shit. But god damn, man. Chris says, "Who the fuck is buying into this shit?" Shout out my nigga Chris. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is insane. Imagine
the audacity.
So, I'm sure you know where I'm going. This whole the Rachel Dolezal, Joe DiMagniello or whatever. Where are the black people who are claiming to be white? Where are they at? Can we do this? Can we identify as Caucasian too? And get some of this good shit that y'all been getting, that y'all claim y'all don't get? Can we get some of this access, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Some of these resources and acceptance. Maybe not even access, not even reach. Just can we get some of this acceptance by claiming Caucasian? I'll tell you right now, before I put my picture on my resume, I got a lot more hits. You know, if you know my name is pretty Caucasian.
Yeah.
And I'm the fourth, you know, and I speak well over the telephone and all of that. I snuck into a lot of good interviews. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that happened to me one time.
Yeah.
We were looking for a production company years ago, and when I lived in Augusta, and I spoke with someone on the phone in Atlanta and was interested in coming out there to see their production company and speak with them in regards to a music video we was interested in doing. And we got in the car, my friend Michelle and I got in the car, rode all the way up there, and knocked on the door. And the guy opens up the door and has this look on his face, like, "Who are you and why are you here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Troy Skinner. I spoke with you on the phone." He looked. He was like, oh. And he let us reluctantly, let us in, but he let us in. And gave us the tour of the location and everything and stuff like that. From that response, I knew that he didn't know.
Yeah.
That
You
I
were,
was,
no, from that response, you weren't supposed to be a nigga.
Right. Not at all. Not at all.
You were not supposed to be nigga.
Not at all. So I can relate
How'd
with
you
you
get
on
in
that.
here?
Yeah, I can relate with you on that with being well spoken on the phone. That does make a huge difference. And then not having such a quote unquote black name in a sense.
Just to seem eloquent.
Because even if I go by James Skinner, it doesn't seem like a black name.
To have that. I know that there's a difference between somebody like me and a nigga named Demarie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Same resume.
Question to everybody out there, man. You watching? How many of you with what would be considered a black name has experienced stuff dealing with your name in regards to how people responded to you? What's going on, Stevie?
It is fucking absurd. White men are about to usurp the black man's identity.
Yeah. And get everything that comes with being black, but the struggle.
And if you think that this is being dramatic, nigga, if you think that this is being a conspiracy theorist of some sort, you are out of your fucking mind. This is insane. I don't know who to call first, man. I'm enjoying the show and the moment that we having right now, but I can't wait. All the people I gotta call and break this down, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
me and you probably gonna sit here for a minute.
Well, it's a thing of just recognizing how far it's going to go. Because this has been big news in the entertainment sphere. I mean, obviously right now this is the Oscar week. They just nominated all these films and stuff that make no fucking difference about anything. But I saw this maybe 5 days ago. And I just
wish you would have said this shit.
No, I just did an eyebrow raise.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I did an eyebrow raise.
God damn.
Because, I'm the same like you. I don't pay attention to too much, news. I mean, I do recognize this stuff, but, all of the perks of being a black man, but the struggle.
It's fucking insulting. This is really insulting. Because I know how far it's going to go. It's going to go just as far as Rachel Dozell's did.
But this is the oddity of it. Had that happened for him in the 50s or 60s,
he would have been killed.
Yes.
Or at least he would have been blacklisted.
Blackballed and blacklisted, absolutely.
Him, his wife.
Isn't that wild? Yeah. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
Well, that's because you don't understand. It's a different world now.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Things have changed. We've come. You know what I'm saying? So far. Later Muse said black fishing for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely black fishing.
And so for me personally, this is to any black man out there listening. Why would you want to be anything else? They wanting to be you.
They're trying. If you've been here for the last 20 minutes or so, excuse me, Joe DiMagniello or whatever. This fool is claiming because of what's the name of the show? Something Wars, not Wars, but discovering your race, basically, or whatever. What is it?
Finding your roots.
Finding your roots, which is probably some sort of fucking homage to the Roots series.
Well,
play on words.
Mr. Gates.
Yeah. And he's an asshole because he fucking knows. I'm gonna send you the shit. He had an entire press conference. But anyway, if you've been here for at least the last 20 minutes or so, you know that Joe Manganiello has discovered that he's part black and
figured out how to say that name.
Yeah, because I need to be able to adequately disrespect and identify this nigga. He's part black and descended from slaves. His hair is kinky, or he has to tame his hair according to him. Yeah,
Every
I guess
morning,
you can kind of see that.
Every morning, he said it's hard to control.
Yeah, you can see it standing up. He said it stands up and out.
Nobody ever taught him how to use a do-rag, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
But remember, he had braids in that one photo.
He did have braids.
He had cornrows.
Yeah, both there. Listen, man, if you are a black man, please understand.
Does the world envy black men? So we're at the closing, almost the closing end.
Yeah,
Josh
we're
Butler
definitely
just
gonna have
came
to
in.
follow up on Thursday.
Yeah,
man.
we're gonna follow up some more on Thursday, and hopefully you guys will have some questions or you want to chime in on Thursday. We'll definitely do.
because this article took the wind out my spirit. I can't lie.
I'd love for some of y'all to really like hit us and let us know some of your
Yeah,
experiences.
listen. You can say whatever you want on this show.
Mm-hmm.
We just about anything. We're really not tripping. We're not, it's an adult show.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about it.
Yeah.
If you want to call in and call us racist, I'm willing to have that argument too. Whatever it is, But this has to be talked about. This is insane. I can't. I hope. I know Judge Joe Brown's gonna talk about this.
Yeah, he probably already has.
Yeah, if he hasn't already.
Yeah. He said he's black, man. He's part black.
Look at nigga.
Yeah, well, let me ask you a question. Is
Okay.
it, because the one drop rule, is he part black or is he black?
Well, he said he's Sicilian.
Oh.
Somewhere in the article he did say
Yeah,
that.
I did remember seeing
He
that.
focused on him being Sicilian.
So then he's not.
Because he doesn't want to take away from
the other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he skipped over that.
But his dad, though.
His great grandfather was a Gestapo Nazi SS.
No, his great grandfather fought in the Civil War.
Okay.
They made a statue of him in Plymouth.
Right. Let's
Right.
that was something I wanted to see.
Okay.
Because, how do you not know that? You know what I'm saying? How do you not know
If that's who's in your family.
Right. You would know that.
Not if you're black. They did a lot to ensure that we don't know any of our history, Plato, all of that bullshit down there.
What's his name? Plato?
Yeah.
Plato Turner.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We're gonna go and check on Plato Turner.
Where's this nigga at?
It's at the top.
Oh, yeah, I'm blind as shit.
Plato Turner.
This has blinded me.
Statue. Plato Turner statue.
Oh, did I take it off of? Hold on. Let's put our people back in now. Real quick, y'all. Yeah, I guess he does exist. What's his statue look like? That's the white Plato.
I don't think it's a statue as much as it's a tombstone.
They said it was a statue or a monument or something.
Yeah, they did say that, didn't they?
Plymouth, Massachusetts. Maybe.
Interesting.
This looks like a white man to me. Pretty sure that's a white man. Pilgrim Monument.
No, that's not it.
Nah, that ain't it.
Well, you would think that if it's a statue that it would pop up.
Plymouth Plantation. Wait. Where did they bring up the statue part?
A monument. There's a monument.
Okay, monument
to
also.
him in Plymouth. So it's not a statue, it's a monument. Okay.
Sorry if you're not on YouTube, you're not seeing.
It's a grave. That's
literally
that's
just
what
a
I'm
grave
saying.
site,
That's what they put to him, man.
Ain't no actual fucking monument. Man, listen, they
So we won't
expertly devised.
So we don't even know. Is there a picture of Plato Turner at least? Look at that photo right there. What is that?
This?
That's supposed to be him, isn't it?
It's a white man.
Yeah, it's a gravestone monument.
Yeah, nigga, that ain't no fucking monument. It's just a grave. It's probably a Civil War.
It says to the veterans. It doesn't even say to him.
Yeah, it's probably just a Civil War.
I'm not sold on this, man.
Civil War cemetery or something.
Early African American settlement at Parting Ways, Plymouth. Plato
I'll leave
Turner.
this open. We're gonna have to read that later.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that. There's a lot that's
No,
not.
Kamari, I can't have you come in, but thank you for asking.
There's a lot I'm not sold on at this point. You know,
Listen, this whole thing is expertly fucking
crafted
fabricated,
and
nigga.
manufactured.
They made that shit like a Big Mac, extra sauce, all of
But
that.
you know, they also know that most people are not going to do what we're doing.
Nope. Like, wow. And I can see
He's
the
part of the
arguments
family.
online now, nigga.
Invite him to the barbecue.
That's what niggas love to do that.
Girl, he fine. I've been knew
Niggas
it.
love
I
to
knew
do
something
that.
was up with that. I knew something was up with him.
It's gonna happen.
Invite him to the barbecue, girl.
Listen, we got 5 minutes, man. I just, we gonna run this back.
I saw the air just. Being a black man in America. Being a black man in America. I'm going to tell you something.
You got a black son.
Love your son and encourage him and empower
Brothers.
him. Love them all. We are not these rock of Gibraltars that people think that we are unfazed. We hurt, we cry, we love, we dream. You know, we have a lot that we go through. You're seeing now, especially when it comes to black men, this whole thing of mental health and, black men, it's very real. That's been the conversation. Mental health is real. Well, when did it become real? Was it always a dream? We've always had to deal with the pains and the hurts and the struggles of, financial burdens and social burdens and emotional burdens and psychological burdens. 60% of black men are molested by the age of 13. Mm-hmm. And it's not spoken about. There's always a platform for women to talk about molestation and rape and stuff like that. And young men don't have a platform like that. Young black men in particular. So, it's one of those things where we definitely will on Thursday, open up the show and address it more.
Follow up, man.
There's some things that we have to talk about that's going on in pop culture. We have to talk about, but we will get to it. But I know Antonio definitely wanted to cover some other things about what it is to be a black man in this country and to be envied and to be hated. Like, we are hated. We are hated. And what we just dealt with that article shows you.
We won't even be black men pretty soon.
Yeah. Your struggle won't be a struggle no more. It won't be a struggle. Because the thing is if anybody can be a black man, what struggle are you talking about? There is no struggle anymore.
That's what they've been trying to do for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
Is eliminate our plate. Mm-hmm. Eliminate our American history.
Yeah.
They already got rid of the rest of our history.
Yeah.
But they want to definitely get rid of our history here in America, pre and post slavery, so that now they can tell us that we're something else.
Yeah.
They've been telling us who and what we are for centuries now. Mm-hmm. And it's about to change again, and it's going to change right in front of your eyes. It's already changing with your children in grade school. If you don't know what it is they're teaching your children, it's your responsibility as a parent to go and verify that information. Because they're telling your kids that black slaves were indentured servants.
Yeah.
That they were helping. Mm-hmm. They're not even calling it sharecropping. Or they've redefined sharecropping, excuse me. Mm-hmm. So you need to go and pick up those textbooks. Mm-hmm. Figure out what it is that they're telling your kids, because it's important. And
capture a lot of books that are being taken out of rotation. A lot of books that are being taken out of public consumption. You have to be very careful because even I'm a movie buff, but even on that, my mom was watching a movie and they took certain things out of New Jack City. Yeah. She said it was on a regular one of those channels where all the cussing and stuff and everything. She said there were sections of it taken out of New Jack City. And I was like, Mom, that's why I got it on Blu-ray. You can watch it anytime you want. She was like, yeah, but why are they doing that? And I said, because it's the same reason why now you cannot, we're going to talk about this on Thursday, they want to get rid of Aretha Franklin's You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman song. I knew that was going to get you. Yeah. So, I love being a black man. I wouldn't want to be anything else.
I don't want to be anything else, but I also don't want anyone else to be able to claim that which we are, to usurp our essence, you know, our place in this universe and in this world, and in the lives of our loved ones, you know. We got a lot to talk about. Love the black men that are in your life. Love the black boys that are in your life. Take care of them. Don't take them for granted. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I gotta pull up the shit real quick.
Yeah.
I would have did the commercial. We'll come back to that some other, you know, we'll do that next week or this, you know, next show. But, go buy raffle tickets.
Yes,
you want to win a safe. Or excuse me, donate. Donate and get your raffle tickets. See if you can win this this beautiful safe. We might have a black card or something in there for you, so that you can become a black person officially.
That's funny. You might have to do something like that.
I mean, since we just passing it out anyway, we might as well. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We'll follow up on Thursday about this black man envy, this black person envy in general. You see what they're about to do with y'all's identities. All right, so I hope you're listening and you're taking it serious. What's today's topic? It says it on the question.
Yep.
Does the world envy black men? And we'll follow up with you on Thursday.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Y'all
Love
have a
you
good
guys.
night.
Stay warm.
Muscles on his lonely back. I stay calm. In fact, I've been on the grind so long, hoes could never call me that. Please keep it short. I don't speak for all the rap. I'm your mechanic. I don't want no parts of whack. Keep throwing darts and wax. I'ma melt you. Every beat got a birthday. I just make it special. If you came to wrestle, well, maybe we can do that. Chapman like the doses and show you where your shoes at. Exactly where the proof at. I ain't gotta prove stats. I don't need the hookup. I've been staying blue-black, straight from where the news at. Life-size showdown. Story I survived. Made them live remotes down. Painting what I wrote now. I imagine it.